you guys are watching this later on YouTube, welcome to the American Dream Refugee Program and Camp. I am here to help unlearn you and learn you. The goal here today is to wipe your brain clean, right? Because if what you are doing is not serving you, it is not making you money, you are not making progress, right? You feel like you're making progress because you learned something new, but you can't actually input that into the chart, right? And then we have the basis that the individual who's supposedly teaching is also signaling, which is contradictory. You cannot do both. You cannot try to help create independent traders and give them the answers. It just does not ever go well. So with that being said, I'm not starting from scratch. We're not going to teach candlesticks here, but what I will teach you is that what I would ask of you is that you drop it all, right? What you were doing was not working. So I'm presenting something new. And as a person exploring this market, you should be open-minded, right? About what is out there, right? You can't just latch yourself onto one. You need to be able to see that strategy work. You need to see it happen consistently, right? You don't get wrapped in by cars. You don't get wrapped in by fucking humor. It's the proof is in the pudding, right? So if what you were doing is leaving you in a state of confusion, drop it, all right? Right now, for the next hour or two, I would like for you to forget all of that stuff. Everything you've learned, down to candlestick patterns themselves, drop it, all right? If you like chocolate pudding, that's awesome. So we're going to start with what you need, right? So the first thing that you're going to need, and again, I'm going to emphasize to drop all this excess stuff, right? The patterns, volume, indicators, crossovers, all that other stuff. I'm going to show you how you can find the money without using or doing doing any of that stuff, right? All right. So the first thing that I want to cover, and this is going to be essential, right? This is going to be how you set your chart up. And eventually everybody, because the 24-hour market is going to move to this, but you are and do have to have TradingView, okay? TradingView, or I don't use, there's another one, the teardrop candles, I can't remember the name of them. It's some other charting app. I use that one. I like TradingView. And what you need to do is you need to have all of your data. You do have to have a membership. Hopefully you got that on Black Friday. And you need to have the 24-hour time frame, right? If you're using your brokerage as a charting software, I feel that you will run into some major issues. Mostly because, yeah, there it is, TrendSpider. TrendSpider actually does implement the 24-hour. It's not like you're going to get lost. It was just how that website was set up that I just really didn't like. It really messed with me. I actually lost money on several occasions trying to move my chart around to set it up for the next trade, and just was messing me up. All right, so some of the things that you're going to have is your data, right? This is NYSE. It's going to be called a data package, right? So you're going to want to make sure that you have that data package, and you're going to be using and adding the 24-hour time frame. I'll show you how to do that right now. So when you click on that little arrow right up here, right? Oh, and you might not be able to see it. When you click on this little arrow right here, it's going to say add custom interval, right? Can I still learn without having the subs to buy? Absolutely. Yes, I am here right now. I don't need your money, right? If you want to hang out in the chat, and that's going to take time, and yeah, there's an exchange of value there. But if you don't want to buy shit, I don't. That's totally fine. My YouTube channel is going to contain and have everything that you need, and then this will be posted as well, and hopefully you can come back to this and utilize it. So yes, this is not something that this isn't a plot to get you to sign up for my shit. I'm not asking anybody to. I'm hoping that none of you do. I'm hoping that you take this information and you make an educated decision in the next couple of weeks on what you think is best for yourself. But yeah. Anyway, so you're going to go to add custom interval, right? Yeah, and don't even worry about affording it. I want you to focus on the strategy. That's all I want you to do. I don't want you to focus on, oh, if I get Potter's membership or that, then I'll be no, it's out there for you right now. If you want to be a part of the group, the Hive Mind, eventually, right, that place will be there for you. But it is absolutely it is absolutely where you want to start. So, all right. So you're going to add custom interval. You're going to go to hours, and you're going to add the 24-hour, right? Just like that. You'll add that. It already exists, obviously, on mine. This is going to be a huge start. I used this example previously on why. So before I move on from the 24-hour chart, I want to remind you or show you why. Do I do leaps? I do leaps, but not as often. They would probably make up about 15 to 20% of my trades. The rest of them are shorter swing trades overnight. All right, so I'm going to show you why, right? Instead of just giving you a rule and then having you accept that, you should question every fucking thing that comes out of my mouth, including every other person in the stock market's mouth, right? Test them. So first things first, why do I use a 24-hour? I think I'm going to argue that with another question. Why do we use the daily, and who made that a rule and why? So far in my journeys, I've never found that. I've never found anybody say that this is why we use this time frame. And this is all the way from people who go to school to trade, to deal in the stock market. They are learning and using and utilizing the 24-hour time frame, typically with a 200-day moving average, and that's it, right? I don't. Now I'm going to show you right now. So looking at Mara, right? And we're going to get into the boxes, but I'm going to show you how to draw them. Little lesson here, though. So first things first, when I find an area of consolidation, right? Candles opening up and closing inside of the same range. That is consolidation. That is structure. That is the Potter box, right? Now, of course, it isn't a Potter box without the 50% mark, because we'll get to that in a second. So I'm going to draw a box here and here using the top of the red candle here for the bottom. And then I'm going to try to get points of contact, right? Points of contact being where we touch the most. So we have a box below and we have a box above. Pretty simple. Now, this allows for me to clearly mark out where a candle needs to close in order to continue moving higher, because candle closes on the 24-hour time frame are absolutely essential. I cannot and do not operate without having them. So we can see here on this candle that candle's wick touches the floor. This only solidifies that is exactly what needs to be reclaimed, right? So I can mark that out clearly. I can also look at the top, right, of these boxes, and they're pretty in line, right? It looks clean. It's clean. Now I'm going to take that away because we're going to keep this lesson short. I'm going to take it away. I'm going to put it back on the daily time frame, and I want you to pay attention to what happens to price. It breaks up, right? Everything that we had before, right, we no longer have. The floor being clean, the top being clean. You could say that there's a little bit of cleanliness here on the, and it's still the 24-hour. I should go to the daily, but there is not that same solid price action where I'm able to mark out the top and the bottom of my range. Now, breaking into just briefly, right, what the box is all about, my strategy, right? So if you wanted to leave right now, my strategy says that if you find an area of consolidation right here, you put a box on that and you have the 50% mark, which I'm going to show you how to do that right now. We're going to double click on the rectangle that we pulled over here from our toolbar, and we're going to pop the middle line down. I actually asked them to do that for me, and they were able to do that. So with this strategy, when the 50% mark of an area of consolidation is broken, after it has lost that floor, right? So it fell out, lost that floor. This is no longer the control point for buyers. When it goes and recovers, right, the bottom floor can be used as an entry and a stop loss, right? You can utilize that 1750 as a stop loss. But until the 50% mark of that box is broken, it does not guarantee me a new high. If it is broken, 24-hour candle close, open above, so on and so forth, it guarantees me. And I, again, spend my life and every day of the week searching for where this does not happen. So I find more times that it does happen and have found very, very, very few times that it hasn't. So if you break the 50% mark, right, you're going to move to the upside. And again, we're using a targeting system where we're looking for empty space, right? But this allows for me to utilize the top of that box as a stop loss, because I want my stop loss on an entry to mirror, right, where sellers control the price. Because if you get a retest, right, where do we usually retest? So you break out, right, but then you pull back. You're going to bounce where? At the top. And that would allow for me, right, to have faith or to know that if my stop loss is broken, closed below, that it will continue moving to the downside. Okay? So the 24-hour time frame. Let's see, what question do we have here? What's the difference between the daily and the 24-hour that is not the same? The daily is encompassing price action from the bell to the bell. So from 9:30 to 4 o'clock, that is what you're seeing on the 24-hour time frame. If you are putting on the 24-hour time frame, you are looking at price action from 4:30 in the morning until 8 o'clock at night. And that is all. So, and I would rival this again, anybody who challenges this with what does everybody say, right? Smart money comes in after hours. If you put an order in on the market, right, it's going to leave a footprint. It's on there. And this time frame encapsulates everything, which is absolutely one of the most essential parts of this strategy, is being able to see it all. So, the daily doesn't include extended hours, right? So you're not using you're not using all of the data, right? Regular hours, that's what it looks like, right? Extended hours, that there's a huge fucking difference. And while I'm here, right, if this box below you, this cost basis, this 50% mark, if it is broken, you do make a new low, right? And then your job is to find the target. The target would be the wick. So can you explain how the first two times the cost basis was broken by green candles go above the box? What are you talking about? Can you explain how the first two times the cost basis was broken by green candles? So are you referring to inside of the box? It also just looks nicer, yeah. But a candle closed, the top and the bottom of candles. If you go to my Twitter, you'll find that's actually pinned to the top of my page because it is one of the most important factors in trading. But so that's building a box. You are not. This is not when candle. So typically, right, we like to go with the flow. So if we see a candle that is opening up underneath a resistance and inside of the same range as its previous day, you can count me out, right? I'm not touching it. And I know that typically if a stock has expanded 2 or 3 days, that typically it's going to hit that resistance and go sideways. And so I rely on this, right? And I rely on the fact that if candles open up inside of their previous ranges 2 to 3 days after hitting that high, it's going to stay in that range. So how long does the box have to be in consolidation? So that's a really good question. I like 3. Right? So like 3 to 4 days is typically a good solid bet. In fact, I do this experiment a lot with my students inside of the Discord where we'll go and we'll look at how long ranges, right, on particular stocks. And some stocks are a little different than others. Hold on 1 second. What's happening in here? Timothy Brian would send you, hey, Bridget Casey, I know the economy is really, really rough and things are hard, but don't fucking be a scammer. All right? Don't. Go do something else. All right. Sorry. Gotta get rid of him. All right. So anyway, do you have a free day in the Discord to see what you do? I could probably arrange that. I typically don't. But yeah. All right. So really quickly before I move on, is everybody clear on the 24-hour time frame? Is everybody that this is, and I'm letting you know now, no Heineken Ashy candles, none of that. So thumbs up or a yes in the chat if you got this 24-hour time frame, right? If you have any questions on it, I'm trying not to leave anybody behind here. You said redo? I got scammed on copy trading. You missed it. Tick trend, I don't ever factor in fundamental shit at all. Yeah. Okay, so just a really quick recap, all right? Without the 24-hour strategy, I would not be able to get the returns that you see below, right? We would not see these huge returns, these 500, 600, 700, 1,000% trades. And so this is absolutely one of the most essential parts of my strategy, right? Is a 24-hour time frame, which basically encapsulates data from the actual bell at 4:30 a.m. in the morning Eastern time till 8 o'clock at night, right? And we're going to go over the Potter box again. Right, so this is where I want to include all of that data because, again, smart money comes in after hours. I need to see this. I need to see where those marks are at. So when we look at the 24-hour time frame, you can either A, look at something that looks very clean and symmetrical, or you could look at regular hours, and this is what the daily looks like in comparison. Trash, wicks, no cohesiveness. There's not a cohesive floor. There's not a cohesive top, bottom, nothing. This is all being recorded, yes. So putting that back on, we're left with a far more clean area of consolidation. So huge difference. If you guys are on here and you don't mind tapping your screen, that is all I ask in reciprocation for this lesson. I don't want you to join my Discord. I don't want your money. I don't want anything else. Tap your screen or drop a comment. So yes, TradingView has Black Friday sales right now. I don't have an affiliate link, so I ain't making money off of that shit either. I have the workshop where, okay, so I want to make something really clear, okay, Michael, and anybody else. I understand that what you guys have seen are huge gains, and you want them too, and I'm glad that you do. But I'm telling you right now, that if I tell you to buy up or down, our brains are built in a manner that once you know how to get the reward, right, the dopamine, when we're able to get a direct path to that, if let's say 5 of my trades work out, right, you didn't even look at your risk management. The 5th one doesn't work out. I cut, right? You don't have the experience. You don't know. But as soon as you find yourself in that scenario, you're going to want to learn. As soon as you start learning, trading is going to be a fucking nightmare for you. Everybody does this, and I'm warning you from experience. I'm warning you as a teacher that everybody, and it's no fault of your own, we are human beings that go with what is most easiest. And if this doesn't apply to you, that's fine. But you are fully capable of becoming independent, right? With this strategy, I have done this time and time again. I have countless DMs, messages, pictures of people showing me, their life now. They did not do that by just simply wanting me to tell them up or down. You either commit to this market, there is no shortcuts here. Now, if you learn my strategy and you're on live trading with me, you are absolutely going to be able to catch some of my trades. The goal is to always have you understand why, when, where, how, right? What's the thought process behind that so that when you see the same thing, you can take that trade. If you really think that Jay Dunn from from Team Bull Trading is a smarter human being than you, I want you to go look at his profile picture and just meditate on that. If you think fucking Chad from American Dream Trading, the Uber driver turned stock market miracle, if you really think that he is smarter than you, he is not. He is not. Do you have bots add people after your stream? No, this is all organic, dude. If you're in here and you're a bot, throw me a robot hand up there. No, kidding. I don't trust people named Chad. If they're named Chad, they gotta be ripped, and they have to have long blonde hair. That's it. So anyway, I am again trying to just nail this home. You cannot listen. I wish it did work this way. You will not be able to bypass the stock market. You cannot get away with it. This is quite literally built around human emotions. You will get caught. And typically when you don't have a good understanding, it's not going to be pretty, right? So I have a step-by-step process that I go about teaching people how to trade. I got scammed by Eric Botos. I got to screenshot that, my guy. Yeah, you know what? You probably did, though. That guy's, I caught him, and he knows it, too, because he never argues with me. I caught him paper trading. In front of God and everybody, so it was awesome. All right, let's keep moving on, though. So far, right, we've covered the 24-hour time frame. We need our extended hours data, right? We need NYSE, NASDAQ package, right? So it's about $9 a month. So yeah, these are going to be the essential starting points, right? Now, also having a good brokerage, okay? Now, I cover this in the workshop, but I'm going to cover it here briefly. I am not a fan of Robinhood. In times of volatility, right? In times where our strategy typically, and I'll show you guys here in just a second, our strategy here is typically to buy at the end of the day, right? Looking and focusing on low priced contracts and looking to sell them the following day. So just an example here, $6 turns into $60, right? It's a 500% return. So we're looking for, well, what is that? Yeah, hold on one second. Why is that not working? Not doing any chart requests right now. Okay, so anyway, lost my train of thought there. So again, we're forgetting whatever we started with, whatever you knew before this, ICT, patterns, pattern candles. I want you to fucking drop it and just focus on this. 24-hour time frame, right? That's our starting point. Data, and then that's what I was getting at. Robinhood. If you have Robinhood or Webull, if you are starting out and you are trading with us, this would be a okay brokerage, right, for the short term while you're learning. But I really do think that if you want to take this seriously, you would likely want to at least have two separate brokerages, one TradeStation or TOS or something else where you could have, let's say, turn your gains into long-term equity, or you would be able to feel safe leaving your money there. I'm telling you right now that positions held in massive times of volatility are absolutely a bad variable for your trading. Now, we know that with my strategy, we're selling in the morning at the height of the volatility. So we buy at night, typically for really cheap. And again, that's what I was trying to show you here. If you guys look at, I'm not sure if TikTok can see this or see the cost of these contracts, but like right here, right? I think I can actually. Hold on a second. So right here we have a $18 contract being sold for $105. So we're buying that contract at the end of the day. And then in the following morning, when everybody's buying, right, the big push in the morning, typically that's where we're selling, right? That's where we're going to be selling to those buyers. With that being said, Robinhood typically doesn't give us a ton. What's the chat behind TikTok? That is my Discord, which I do not want you to join right now. You can join the free one. I do not. Listen, if you buy a membership right now, and you're brand new and you're just now, like, this is maybe the second or third time, I'm going to refund you immediately. Okay? I do not want you to buy anything. Here's what I'm asking. You sit here, you listen, take what I have to say, question it. Nope, don't even ask how much it is. I'll shut my website off. Right? I'm serious. I really do want you guys to go to my YouTube channel after this, and I want you to take a week or two, right? And go and look. Go and watch it work. Try it before you buy it, okay? The YouTube channel is going to be right here. It's going to be Potter Stocks Trading, okay? If you were to join my Discord, I don't want you to come in with a lack of commitment, right? I don't want people looking for signals. I want people who know without a fucking doubt that they have the capability, right, to do this on their own. And if you don't believe that, go ahead and quit now. If you don't truly, without a doubt, know that you're able to accomplish this, those doubts will come back and they'll kick your ass unless you can fucking get through them. I paid attention to your methods. They work really well. I used often, picked it up fast. It's easy shit right there. Okay. All right. So that's my channel right there. So brokerages, I like TradeStation, TOS, Schwab, right? Same thing. Tasty Trade is okay, but they can give you problems with shorter expiration contracts. Never had to pay, picked it up fast. There you go. Yes, this is live. I am teaching live for real right now. At what point did I enter the Mara trade? So I actually was getting a dental prep done, so I missed the end of the day take where I wanted to take this trade here. But I did the following day take this trade right around the 1875 area for a swing trade into the following day. This exploded. I had a bunch of ICT people tell me that this was a fair value gap, and if I didn't TP here, I was going to lose. Yeah, well, suck it. So because this one literally paid for my $20,000 fucking dollar jaw the day that I got it done. It closes right here. Still, we trade from box to box. The floor was here. It gapped up overnight, popped up. I woke up from anesthesia, trimmed, held the rest until the following day. Oh, because it claimed the upper box. Yes, you are very correct. We're going to get into that in just a second. Right, yeah. So we find a floor, and if the candle closes on it, right, fair value gaps are trash. I'm mad, and I'm mad I Googled what they were. Yeah. Yeah, it's honestly one of the most brain-dead strategies. 3 gaps, or 3 red candles, or 3 green. Get out of here, dude. Empty space all the way, not a little bit of it. All right, so we got brokerages, we got our time frame, we've got our data. We know what we're not doing, which is bringing along patterns, candlesticks, all that other shit. So let's go ahead and start digging into the juicy shit. All right, so I know I've already explained it, but we're going to go ahead and I am going to first take your requests, okay? Or first, I'm going to go over what the Potter box strategy is, okay? Then I'm going to have you guys drop in some requests. And I'm going to, without having, well, most of these charts, I've charted a lot of stocks, but we'll go and we'll find a box. We'll find the example. So let's go ahead and start here. If you don't want to have this on YouTube, again, you guys could always screen record. All right. So I already have this on, so I'm going to go ahead and just keep it going. What you guys are looking at in front of you with the 24-hour data in mind, right, is a box. Now, this is going to be simple because it's not overcomplicated. I don't have 5,000 definitions. We look at the top of the box, or we call this seller's control, right? This is where sellers control the price. And there's typically what we like to narrate as a story here, right? And this just helps a lot of my students, and even myself sometimes, understand what's going on. I'll take questions in just a minute. So first, we're going to start right where we see 2 or 3 candles sideways. They're opening up inside, so the bottom of a green candle, top of a red one, they're all opening up within their own price action, right? This continues for multiple days, and now you have a solid box. This also occurred over here to our left, right, where we can also mark out our box. Now, the top of the box is typically going to be marked out by the top of a red candle and the bottom of the green ones. The only variable here would be if we have a wick or price that bounces off the exact same mark, then I'm going to give it that. So typically we would, I'm not taking any request right now, brother. So typically, right, we would go off of the bodies, or where the candle closes. So on this example, candle close, or candle open, right? That's where the line is drawn. Same thing at the bottom. Candle close, wick, body, wick, right? This is going to basically solidify where those floors and where the tops and the bottoms are at. Now, in the middle, and this is where, you know, I still live in kind of disbelief because I slapped a line. It wasn't as simple as that. But I found the 50% mark, and I found that if price, and in this case, we're going up. So if price loses the floor of its box, refuses the sell signal underneath, and we're gonna describe this as a story in just a second, pulls back, hits the 50% mark, bounces, right? And then and we could kind of just drop all of that. If you break the 50% mark of a box on any single time frame, right? Candle close, you are guaranteed a new high. This is the theory, or what I would even call it a theory at this fucking point. If the 50% mark of a box on the 24-hour, the weekly, the monthly, the 1 minute, the 5 minute is broken, candle closed, you will see continuation to the upside. Your job is to find the target underneath. And this strategy is also true to the downside. I entered inside of the box after the 50% mark was broken, and I added to the trade over 895. If right, we were to break down and candle close below the 50% mark of a box below us, we will continue following, and our job is to find our floor, which would be here and which would be at the close of the gap, right? So signal down, signal up. So we're looking at the box in itself, but there's a story here. So let me explain it to you in a way that will let you get a better understanding of what's going on, right? And there's going to be a lot of people who disagree with how I narrate this, but it doesn't change. It's facts. So we have tension, right? Boxes, in the way that I see them, are tension. You've got the top, you got sellers, and you got buyers, and they're pushing, right? Now, I found cost basis, and that's what I call it. The middle of this area of volume is called my cost basis. And that is where, using a volume profile for years, I used that tool for a while, I found that the majority of the volume is at the 50% mark. So you are at the dead slap center of every box, 5 minute, 2 minute, hourly, 24 hour. The volume will be concentrated in the box, right? Hey, Peyton, this isn't going to sound really good on YouTube, but can you make that rooster shut up? Throw something soft at him. Holy shit, he won't stop. Sorry. My rooster's outside going crazy right now. All right. So, I know you guys can't hear it, but I can hear it. I can hear it, and he won't shut up. All right. Yeah, that was 5 times in a row. We're about to have rooster dinner tonight. So what we're going to do now is describe this box in, just a second. I'm going to describe this to you in a storyboard format. So this is going to help you understand what's going on. So inside of an area of consolidation, there's 2 teams, the buyers and the sellers. Sellers have a job to do. Literally, they have a job to do. They are trying to push price down. Their goal is to pass the baton. This is just a metaphor that I use, right? The same way you would in a race. You want to pass your baton to the sellers below you, and you want them to take over. So how do we do that, right? So I just taught you that the 50% mark breaking, right, inside of a box is going to give us a guarantee for new highs and new lows. So if seller's job, right, is to get this floor to break and to pass it off to the sellers in control here, where they push this through the 50% mark and give you your new low, right? But they're not able to do it. So what happens is everybody in here, really quickly, we're going to take a second. Is everybody in here clear on what selling options are, or not selling options, excuse me, selling short or going short? Do you know, does everybody in here, thumbs up if you know what shorting is? Just the basic definition. Do you know what shorting is? Yes. Yes. Why? No. There's enough no's for me to go ahead and just explain. Okay, so we're going to make this simple because the whole concept behind shorting is stupid, but it's a real thing. Okay, so sellers, right? You're a seller. You want price to go down. You are borrowing shares at a higher price from the bank, right? So I borrow a share at 1965, right? I don't own it. I'm borrowing it. Typically, I'm doing this on margin. I want the price to fall. The price does. Price goes to 1635. If I decide to get out of this trade, right, I'm going to buy the stock. I'm going to buy it, not borrow it, buy it at a lower price and collect the difference. You're trading upside down. You're literally trading upside down. And if you're thinking to yourself, well, that doesn't really make any sense. Exactly. It doesn't make any sense, but that's just how it works, right? You're borrowing shares at a higher price And as the stock falls, right, if it hits your target or however, whatever, that hurt me head. All right. So when you buy a share, right, and then sell it, you're buying it and then you're selling it at a higher price, collecting the difference. When you're selling or shorting a stock, you're borrowing the shares at a higher price and then buying them back at a lower price. And whatever that difference is in between the two, that's the money that you collect. Okay, so we got that down, right? We're clear. So what happens if you're a seller on margin and it goes the opposite way, right? Now, what did I just say? When a stock hits your target, you buy back those shares, right? Typically a bank, Jelly. Typically a bank, brokerage, right, on margin. That's how you're going to do it. So what happens if I short here, right, on this candle right here? What happens if I short and then it goes above that wick? So my average is 1750. The next day it breaks 1750 and it goes all the way up to 1791, right? So I want to collect the difference in between a stock's high and low. I want to short it down, collect the difference in between the two. If I can't, the only way to get out of my position, right, is to buy it back. So this is how we spot areas of tension and know that sellers have a job to do. They have to pass the baton. They did here. They took over. Sellers took over once, right? It pops up. It's unable to fall, retests the floor, and still tries to close underneath. The next day, and this is where shit gets wild, right? You start to think about what you've done in the stock market. What happens when you see a big red candle at the floor? What did you do when you first joined? When you first started trading, when you saw a big red candle? You bought puts, right? A lot of other people out there are going to, I'll tell you a quick story here. There are a lot of people with a lot of money that are really dumb. I had a student, they're going to get wrecked, right? You're going to jump in. I had a student one time, I went long on Tesla. He went short. Now, he entered with way more than I had, right? But he put in $250,000 into this play going against me. And I'm not saying that I'm God here, but I gave a really, really good explanation as to why I was doing what I was doing. He decided not to. Decided to try and bounce it. It red knifed his ass, and he lost almost all of it, 240, right? He was down. He calls me to ask me if he should deposit $250K more, or should he just go with $500K so that way he has cushion. I couldn't fucking believe it. And he's hanging out with homies, right? He's got homies with bread like that, and they're trading together. So don't think that you having more money means more brains. I have seen this live. I have seen people with a shit ton of money shorting, longing, doing dumbass shit, right? So you have a job to do. Your job as a seller from here, right, or there, is to push this stock, have it break the 50% mark below you, right? And that's typically more or less their job. If they don't, they pass it back, right? They cannot push it down. You cannot get this stock to go down. So what happens after that? You get out of your trade, but you get out of your trade by buying. So let's say you have $1 million short or 500,000. You buy back 500,000 shares. That makes the candle go boop, right? What do you think that does to the other people who are selling short? Boop. Snowball effect. So when we see these areas of tension, right? We're locked up in between the two. It's here where we see the decision making and who has the ball in their court. If you're a seller, your worst nightmare is to give buyers back control of the floor that they had before, right? And to a lot of other people's points, there are computers that are designed, right, to buy and sell shares at a predetermined price. So if we pop up, hit a floor, hold a floor, this means that sellers, no, I don't, I guess that's, yeah, I got you. But that means that computer, right, we got control. Buyers are in control again. If you're a seller, This means that your last line of defense is the median where the majority of volume. Now, we had a box with all of the volume concentrated at 1825. That price falls, right? So you have a load of tension up here, volume still up here. The candle bounces below, reclaims the floor. Sellers are getting out. Starts moving higher. Sellers are getting out. The tension is broken. What's that candle look like? You are seeing the manifestation of the volume contained in here unraveling in price above. Now, what's there to stop you? We trade box to box. Boxes represent volume. Boxes are just like walls, right? This is the common or the most dumb or straightforward, floor, ceiling, support, resistance, right? But it is obviously on the 24-hour where we're able to pinpoint the first green candle to our left and identify where that floor will be. How do you know where to put the box at, and do you know where you put it how do you know you put it in the right spot? Well, that's a really good question. So first of all, we're going to look for areas where the stock goes sideways, right? And so I'll walk you through a couple of plays that I've taken. Now, not all of these are going to be punchbacks. Some of these are just going to be tension going into empty space. So I'll show you A and F. I do use the weekly time frame. The higher the time frame, the higher the return. I have had some of my biggest trades come from the weekly and 24-hour setups. If you are zoomed in, you're playing in that world, right? You're playing in this tiny little world. I'm out here. I'm looking at the whole world. I want it all. I'm going to buy the whole world. Sorry. Can you explain your TP? I will in just a second. So let me give you an example here, right? Really quickly. This is a trade that I took for, I think it was about 900 to 1,000%. And we'll go ahead and remove everything. Okay. So simple, right? Actually, you know what? We'll do this one last. We'll do Nike first because I like the way that this is going to make for a really good lesson. Okay. So first off, and we're going to get rid of all of this, 24-hour time frame. All right. So 24-hour time frame, we are able to identify a very clean, again, 25% or 24-hour time frame, a box, right? Tops off the double wicks here, tap, tap, candle close. That's my floor. Yes, this will be on YouTube. Now, I can't really derive much other than, right, from this chart. And this is where I'm going to help you move through time frames so that you don't get stuck while you're doing analysis. No analysis paralysis. Highest time frames will have the least amount of analysis on them. Lower time frames call for more. So on the 24-hour, here's what I see. Floor, box. Obviously, we've broken out, right? Now I'm going to actually do this really quickly. Right, so this is your setup. This is what you're looking at. Now, let's just really quickly talk about why this might be an upside play. But while we do it, let's go to the 4-hour since the analysis is done on the 4-hour. Now, what the fuck is that? That's a box, baby, right? And this is why we watched this trade on Nike for a while. And you can see that from, let's see, it's not giving me a date, July 15th or July 10th, all the way into August 12th, right? So here's the trade. Before it happens, I've identified a box above me inside a large area of tension, right? 1, 2, 3. Now, write this down. 3 is going to be your magic number. It is a magic number. 1, 2, 3, right? And somebody asked this earlier, how do I determine whether it's a box? Typically, if I see 3 waves, I know that tension is getting really close to breaking. If it's a stock that has good volume, it'll break, right? Now, again, let's go back to the story. Let's go back to why. So you're a seller, right? You're short. You're not smart, but you're still short, right? So you See a second rejection on Nike. You decide to go short, right? This thing has been in consolidation for a long time. You borrow shares at $75, right? The stock drops, goes here to the floor. Now, again, let me ask you, what would you do? What will you do? Or excuse me, what did you do, right, in the past when you saw a big red candle? You chased, right? And again, the stock market is run off of human emotions. So peep this, right? I've just kind of slapped a little red candle under there. So at some point, that candle looked like that. Big red. You still chased to stop that. So that big red candle, right, in an area of tension. And then what do? You're a seller. They wick that fucker up and they close it on the floor. Buyers are still in control, and you can see them. They are struggling to accept the fact that this stock is pushing back up, right? I do have TradingView Premium, and yes, it is worth buying it. Now, for me, I wait for this tension to be created, and then I look for signals above or below. In this case, Nike has a box above me at $76. $76 is cost basis. So what this tells me is that if we're open or outside of 75.35, we're going to go hit the first high above us. The first high above us, right, is the cost basis inside of this box. That is where the volume that listen to this. Tap, this box, this volume, tamping it down, right? Unable to get a candle close on that floor. You come up for the third time. The third time. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. But what's the kicker here? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 times. You drop. That's when you're supposed to. But you don't do your job. So what happens when you don't do your fucking job? You get fired. Your positions, right? So you're covering, you're buying stock back. Look what happens to the price, right? And you can even see it. Even though sellers do their damnedest to try and push it back down, you can see it, right? Now, we also get a news event. So first play, right? Now, we typically will take a trade in a box at if it closes against resistance and does not fall for the third time. That means sellers are weak as fuck and they can't touch this. So I'm going to go ahead and take that trade, and I'm going to typically take it at the end of the day, which I did, and I'm going to set my stop loss for 75.30, right? I eliminate the volatility, right? I mean, if I could go back right now to the gains page and show you guys the gains that we made on this trade, it was fucking insane. Now, right, we've got the tension's broken, right? 1, 2, candle close up against, and we're looking for an overnight punch over the 50% mark. And then again, the big question, what's above us? Nothing. Now, check this out. We're not going to aim for that floor when we have a massive area of consolidation, or a massive area of empty space. Now, there's a lot of different names for the same thing, okay? I call what you're looking at here, where there is no boxes, it's just empty space. It's simple. It is what it is. There is no resistance aside from the 50% mark in a gap in empty space. And the 50% mark damn near rules my life, but the 50% mark in empty space. Now, again, remember, right? 50%. Now, what this does is it actually builds a box around that. How much expiration did you figure out for your options? My expirations typically are going to depend on the chart heavily. If it's opening up in a range where there is no resistance, I'll typically go with a shorter expiration contract. The goal being, and from what you might be able to see this here, the goal being to take a small amount of money, right? Because, and I haven't explained all of this, but there's also another really awesome side effect that happens to option contracts. So everybody in here, how do options go up and down, right? How do they make or gain value? By moving, right? By moving. You're moving. Up, calls. Down, puts, right? You're moving. So when you're not moving, what's happening? Who is in charge? Right? The options, the Greeks. Theta. Exactly. So what is theta or theta, whatever you want to call it, right? What's happening to the contracts in this area of consolidation? What's happening to these contracts? They are losing value because it goes, listen, it goes up, up, up. Calls get more value. It rejects and falls. The worst thing that you could ever have, right, is your stock go up, and any extrinsic value outside of that, so any contracts outside of that strike price are going to get demolished, because the only reason they went up was due to IV, which is just people seeing a stock go up and they're buying. Yes, this is going to be on YouTube. So, right, I absolutely target stocks that are in consolidation. Nike's contracts, I think, and again, I wish I could go back, but it's so, I could look at, watch this. This is the gains page. Scroll. I mean, I've got the super scroll on right now, and we're in October. I can't even get up there. This is all the way in July. I mean, look at these gains, and the gains don't change. The percentage values don't change. This, my homie, right? Oh yeah, look at this one. That's one of the highest percentage gains that I've ever had. 40,900%. That was where we took 14-cent contracts and turned them into $410 overnight on LW. So, and to my point, right? I'll show you LW. Fuck just bragging. Let's show you why. Why did LW go up 40,000%? I don't know. What the fuck happened? Hold on a second. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, it is right. Where the fuck is that at? Am I looking at the right stock here? Where was this? This was on 10/18. I might be looking at the wrong stock here. October, September. Huh. Okay. Oh, shit. I'm sitting here wondering why I can't see it. I got it stuck in replay mode. You know what? Sometimes I'm smart and sometimes I'm not. Is American Dream Trading a scam? Yes, sir, it is. It is a scam. Okay. So, why and how? No. What do you mean? But did you use this tactic to find what you do? Yeah. All right. So let me show you why I made 40,000%. Okay. So again, what's the worst thing for a stock if you're trading options? Sideways, right? Now, my strategy was I want to take LW through the rest of its empty space. It still has more, right? And I want to take it to cost basis. And as you can see, cost basis is very respectable. This is a Thursday. The following Friday, again, Thursday, in consolidation, options absolutely lost all of their value. They're trash. Nobody thinks this is going to go and hit a target to the upside. Overnight, right? We wake up, this pops up, hits the fucking floor. We had, I think it was $75 contracts. It was a wild trade. And it you know what's funny is I had taken this trade beforehand and I was up. I had taken some profit, but it started to lose value. So the next day, right, Thursday, that's when this trade became, or opened up the opportunity for you to take it long, right, with low premiums. And so let me piggyback into this. The best thing about my strategy, especially for those of you who are new or who have dealt with tremendous losses, you can make a lot of money. A lot of money with a little. 2 weeks ago, I turned $368 into $7,850 on one trade. That's not abnormal. Again, you can go into my Discord and you can see. I mean, Scott, you could say whatever the fuck you want. Anybody could say whatever they want. You could try to talk shit all you want to me, but you can't even shit on the same planet, dog. There's one thing to be saying that you do something. It's another thing to have people be DMing you, telling you that they don't fucking need you anymore because, sorry, I got it now, dude. Sorry for the spam, but I Mr. Talks in Discord. I got the system so down packed when it comes to setup. It's not even funny. You've personally changed my life with your teaching, and it was the best money I ever spent when it comes to mentorship with you. I only swing trade now because it's literally 1, 2, 3s in a box and punchbacks, and it's made me a lot because it's so easy to identify and gives me the best rewards. So all I want to say is thank you and hope we can hop on a call soon. Okay, Scott. Ride out, homie. You're probably ADT. Hold on. Yeah, you're probably ADT. But you can, hey, listen, I'm going to go to sleep tonight, and I'm going to sleep really, really well. All right? Really, really well. And I won't give a shit about anything that you say, homie, because I literally have so much proof. I mean, it's hard to walk when your nuts are where they're at, basically. You know what I'm trying to say. So, all right, so moving on, and Scott probably does work for the coach. Anybody in here is probably hating is just one of his little gremlins who doesn't have the balls to be their own man, but instead let somebody else decide when and where they talk shit or what they should be doing for. I just could never picture myself being that person. All right, so I think we've got that down, right? We've got the box. So the box, right? 24-hour time frame, and we'll go back to, I was looking at ANF and LW, but I'm going to show you another example really quick, and I was going to save ANF for last. So this was also a, what was the entry? So this was a swing trade overnight. LW, because it was in an area of consolidation and it bounced on that floor. Remember, sellers have a job to do. And if they don't do their fucking job, they get squeezed out. So when you pop like this after a big red candle, refusing to break down any further, and then you close up against cost basis the following day, you open above it, and it's a straight shot up and above. So that day before it, this is called the a Potter box strategy. All right. It kind of caught on too soon before I could change my name, but here we are. How do I manage risk? That's a great question. So typically stop losses are always going to be set on the tops, bottoms, or cost basis of a box because they are mechanical. That means that if you were to take a trade, it would break out, you'd trim, it would come back down and bounce off your entry, right? I remember when Potter sold that morning. Yeah, I was screaming. Right, stop loss. And then as far as how do we know if the 24-hour will close candle box if we have to get it? How do we know that? So that's actually a really good question, Mug. I haven't planned for that yet. But I do know this, that the main volatility, all right, if my mods will go ahead and ban anybody spamming these stupid cryptos right now. Yeah, don't ever come back here, please. You're operating on a really low wavelength right now. You know, I wish I was this intelligent. Stop that. Don't ever listen. If you ever jump into my Discord, don't ever say that shit to yourself again. You are as smart as you fucking want to be. I am not this smart because I was not born this way. I swear to God. I have done some of the dumbest shit you could possibly think of. Do not talk to yourself like that. You either A, are working on this and you're getting that smart, or you're not. Yeah, hold on. We just got raided by anybody in here a mod? Anybody want to be a mod real quick so I can keep going? Please be careful who you mod. But seriously, I really do mean that if I meant anything. You really have to In fact, I just said this at the beginning. Don't join my Discord if you don't unequivocally, without a doubt, think that you will be successful in this. And then really quickly, I'm going to shut off my... Oh, no. I unblock. Add moderator. I just blocked Mike. There you go, Mike. My bad. There you go. So really quickly, I do not, and I will refund your money. So don't buy anything for... If I see one purchase and I don't know who your name is and we haven't talked before, I'm going to refund you. I'm asking you right now to stop thinking about buying anything from anybody, right? Give yourself a second. There's a lot of people who are trying to sell you shit. You need to come at this with the attitude that you are going to find proof. You're going to see what that person says works, and it works repeatedly, and it shows you, right, consistency. So I am not a signal chat. I am not here to tell you up or down, right? I got you. Yeah. No, please. Yeah, please block anybody. Yeah, there we go. So, I am not a signal group. I am here to create independent traders. I have done it. I have done it 1,000 times over. I'm going to continue doing it, and I've never done it by telling people up or down. My strategy is not that hard. You are not any different than me, and you sure as hell are. You got to be smarter than fucking ADT, or thank you for the gifts. You don't have to do that, but I appreciate it. No, Mike. I was not trying to ban you. I was trying to give you mods. So anyway, don't join my Discord today. Okay, give yourself a week. Go look at my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is right here. You're going to be watching this video later on, right? Go here first. I do not want you to be in my Discord if you lack dedication, if you are not committed and absolutely certain that this is going to be, you're not going to become a full-time day trader, right? If you want to be a full-time day trader, go to BlackRock, go to fucking Wells Fargo, go be a legitimate full-time trader. If you want to take advantage of the stock market, typically with swing trades at the end of the day, and then wake up and take your money, or wake up and manage your trade and wait for that next day or that target to get hit, it's a lot less stressful, right? And this is a great way to leverage your money. I have, again, proved this time and time again. I do not typically like to day trade or scalp. Sometimes I catch myself in one. It's typically... Yeah, and I can't tell you how many people who are scalpers, they burn themselves out, and eventually it just drains you of your account. There is a way, and the way is by following statistics. Statistics say that the majority of the movement overnight, right, or the majority of the movement is overnight. So you are just fighting stats. I mean, I wish I could make it different, but scalping, and it's not your fault. Promoters and people who sell shit know where the instant gratification centers in your brain are, right? Whether they know that or not, right? Whether they are conscious of their choices or not. When I scalp and I take 20 grand and I make 15 or 5K, right? That's a lot of money for a little, in my opinion. I show that to you. Right? You don't have that much money at all. I show that money to you, and this immediately triggers your instant gratification, right? So, Jonna, that's not a solid return. In my opinion, that risk to reward on a scalp, Jonah, right? It might make sense for a second, but when you think about it, what happens if that price goes down immediately? What happens if it goes down immediately? Right? You're cooked. And when you're scalping, if you're using options, cooked. So I counter that, right? By, again, this is crazy. I make more money using less money than most of these dudes make with $50,000 or $60,000. in one trade. It is not a sustainable way of trading. There's statistics behind that as well. But it is just a great way and the easiest way to sell you guys fucking memberships. That is the honest fucking fact. You need to tell a friend. You unfortunately, just like me, it happened to me as well, see this trading, right? You see people trading and they're just like, look at this. I got a 500% or a $500 trade. How much did you put in that? Well, you know, I put in 10K. Holy shit. Right? These individuals know that it's just about keeping that part of your brain that thinks that you're going to get it quickly, keeping that triggered. And scalping is the best way to sell fucking memberships and the worst way to share trading with your friends or anybody else. If it's a true scalp, if I say I'm getting into LW at this price, or I say I'm getting into LW now, enter. Okay, everybody just heard that. At least a second or two for that to go through the brain. You're late. You're too fucking late. You are the one who came up with that trade, or you are too fucking late. Chad's too scared to show up here. He won't show up. I told him I'd get on a call with him. I'd love to prove him wrong and to his face. I'd love to debate this stuff to his face. I love this. I love this shit because nothing I'm saying right now he can argue with, but I can tell you this. He called me a scammer, not you. He called me a scammer because I am posting percentage trades that look like this. Hey, ye chill. I am not taking any request. Where are you from, by the way? I'll do a call. I don't know shit. I just like to argue. Okay. I'm down for a little argument here and there. That's exactly what happened to me scalping others. So let me ask you a question. How many of you... all right, I'm not going to do NVIDIA right now, man. We've been waiting on this class for weeks, homie. So I will do that. I'll do that later on. You guys feel free to DM me. I'll try to get back to him. So let me ask you guys a question. How many of you saw an ad on Instagram, TikTok, something like that? Somebody was scalping, right? And they're like, oh, yeah. And then the little price. Typically, it's a funded account. It's not even real. They're typically showing any video where that little tiny money bar is, and they've got everything else cropped out. You're on a prop. That's not real money. So scalping is essentially where you take a lot of money and you're looking to capture a small move in the market. That's their form of risk management. So rather than exposing themselves to the entirety of the market, which is just called a fear-based strategy, right? It's fear. You don't know what the higher time frame says. You don't know you don't understand. Guys, I am teaching right now. I'm not doing the video, and I'm about to mute people, guys. I'm not trying to be mean. I do analysis every single week. I've got that. I don't even know how many YouTube videos. I take requests every single morning, but y'all gotta chill. All right. I'm not a monkey. All right. I'm dance monkey dance type shit. You know. I am here to teach you so that here, let me counter with this one. I'm here to teach you so you can tell me what the fuck you see on the video. I love you guys and I want you to be fucking independent. That's all. So anyway, if you started and you joined a signal group where they were teaching or had scalping, right, as the primary focus, thanks, Dust. Typically, right? Exactly. Typically, you'll get into that chat and the first couple weeks will go okay. You'll take a trade and some of these will go really well. And then one trade goes wrong, right? One trade goes wrong. And then you decide you want to learn. So you are being also sold educational material, right? You can't do both. I am a scalper who was in the NASDAQ futures pit at the CME. Scott is the only one I won't ever say shit to, because if you were in the fucking futures pit, that's a full-time fucking trader. Not us. We ain't, They've got top of the line fucking software. They're in there. They are there. They're in the shit for 17 years. Exactly. And Scott, I would say that if you want to do full-time scalping and stuff like that, you should probably do what you did. That's probably the best. Anybody doing this at home is probably going to get slapped up, right? So anyway, you failed, and then you started going to learn, and everything fell apart. If that happened to you, put a thumbs up in the chat. If you joined a group, started taking signals, things went okay, then you started learning, and everything fell apart, is that accurate or not? This is the typical story for the majority of folks. I know, right? Oof, jelly edibles. Listen, and I'm going to tell you this right now. Stop. Stop everything, right? And commit. Listen, I get that why you all are here is for money. That's great. Right? You can be fueled, motivated by something, but that doesn't mean that that's the avenue that you'll get it from, right? I want money. Cool. Go sell lemonade. Go twerk, right? Do something. If they got a civil culture streaming before, awesome, right? So, sorry, that comment right there just blew my mind. I'm here to change my brain. Exactly. 80% fail. Scott, I didn't see that comment. There you go. Too scared to, yeah. But if you are focused and you want to make money, you have to understand the strategy first. And I'm telling you this right now. The strategy is how you get money, right? You don't go to your job, take your job's fucking money and leave, right? You go to your job and you know how to do your job, so you do your job and then you get paid. I'm telling you right now, if you can, positive attitude. I'm not here to fucking kumbaya you to death, but I am here to tell you that the way that, you have a specific part of your brain. It is a filter. Has anybody in here ever bought a new car? You buy a new car, and now all you see are those cars, right? It's the same thing, right? Our brain, we can tell our brain what to see. If you, right, if you decide that, I don't know, you got a bad attitude, right? Or I'm probably not gonna make this, right? I'm probably gonna lose. This is too much for me. I'm not that smart. I'm gonna let you know right now. If you say those things and you believe them, don't even try. Please don't, because I'm telling you right now, don't try. You have to know for a fact that you have a space in this market, and you do. It's probably not scalping. It's probably not day trading. It's not what Scott does, right? But there are ways to take advantage of the market. I don't scalp. I swing options overnight. I don't want to deal with the volatility, and you don't even know where that candle is going to close at 10 o'clock in the morning or 12 o'clock in the afternoon. You don't know where that price is going to close. So how are you making decisions long-term in the middle of the fucking day? It could reverse right there and dump, and then you're shit out of luck. So I was a bear for so many years because of psychology. Key issue, don't ever be a bull or bear. Absolutely. And don't be loyal to any of these companies, because none of these companies give a damn about you. You are here to take the loot and get the fuck out. Right? Nobody robs a bank. It stays in the bank and talks to all the members like, hey, how's your day going? No, they grab the bag. They say, get on the floor. I'm out. Right? No, Scott, I typically do short dated, cheap, low risk, high reward. And I don't know what you would call this, but just an example here. Like I look for areas of consolidation where the contracts get cheaper. Through data decay. So I'll find an area like this, doesn't matter, typically 1, 2, 3 rotations inside of those areas. And then I look for areas where there is no resistance, right? So this would be what I would label, and some of these will be identified as gaps, but this would be what I would call empty space. And then typically what I always target is I target the structure above, right? So empty space, I take my trade and I take it through that empty space up to the structure, and then typically cost basis is where I leave my runners to run. So that's typically, that is 8 out of 10 times is what I'm trying to accomplish. And I take my trades at the end of the day. So that way that volatility that comes in the morning, as you know, drives, if I'm correct, and it opens outside of that control, then if I'm correct, it has little to no resistance above it. And I'm able to take a lot of money out of that. And it's thankfully this last 2 or 3 years have been some pretty incredible returns. So where's the cool hat? I have no idea, dude. My son took it. Orb is actually opening range breakout. Yeah, orb is something that I use. No, it's not. It's not called a fair value gap. A fair value cap is 3 candles, 3 red candles, Chief. I should know that strategy more than you do. All right. Okay, so still not completely sure if entry is closing outside of the box or passing cost basis. Great question. So, let's see. I'm trying to think. So we'll just use Mara because I already have it up. So there are 3 entries, right? 3 potential entries inside of a box. The floor, and again, one of the focuses here is that if, you know, computers or whatever, they control this floor. I want to use that. So let's look at it this way, right? If you reclaim a floor, buyers are going to do, yes, it does work in the crypto space really well. Buyers are going to do whatever they can, right? Whatever they can to keep that price up. Hold on a second. Just trying to show you these crypto gains while I talked haphazardly. Yeah, it does work on crypto. But yeah, have a good one, man. So anyway, if this floor right here is reclaimed, an intraday price action, let's say it goes up and hits cost basis and pulls back, it's going to pull back to my entry. I want my entries and my exits to tell me something, right? So let's role play here a little, right? I take my trade at the top of this box. This box strategy is on YouTube. Yes, it is. It's on my YouTube channel. The YouTube channel is right here, Potter Stocks Trading. And again, I'm going to repeat myself. Let me go check and see if anybody's joined. All right, cool. Nobody's joined. I do not want to see a single membership purchased from my website today. There's no way you're going to get through all of my YouTube channel. Give yourself a couple of days, a week, 2 weeks, more than that. I don't care. And go through this educational shit. I don't do the fucking thumbnails. I'm sorry. I'm not that guy. I make too much money to sit there and be grinding out fucking thumbnails at the end of the day. But it's all incredibly useful information. Okay? Cool. What was that? But don't no joining until you have gone through this, and from there you could make a decision on whether you want to take that information and run with it, and you don't have to pay me a dime, or you start shadowing the group, right, and watching us on TikTok, YouTube, all that other stuff until you feel better. So, what's my inspiration? Like, why am I doing this right now? Because I'm petty. I like to watch empires collapse. I especially like empires to collapse when they are built on the backs of stealing from people who just want to make their life better. Which is why I'm going to tell you straight up whether you should be here or not. But like, yeah, my inspiration is if I can teach one of y'all, whether you buy my shit or not, hopefully that's less money in their pockets. Fuck them. You just described politicians, yeah, right? So anyway, so where did I learn how to trade? I straight up taught myself. I learned, I did listen to a lot of people, but what I was really listening for is when other people would say like, hey, this indicator really, really works. Like, look at how it responds. I wanted to know, what does that indicator do? What is it pulling data off of? And through this and a lot of other variables, I mean, this is a mushed together, not mushed, it's surgically aligned. But, you know, from the 24-hour time frame, all of this was exploratory. And I have to tell you, it cost a lot of money. I did not have $80,000 to lose. I made and lost $80,000 before I really started to get this. And then even after that, it took a little bit of time to really solidify it. But I paid the price. So do you draw your boxes using the 24-hour? Yeah. So yes, absolutely. If I decide, 5-minute or 15-minute, the fuck are we? There we go. Let me find an example here. Yeah. So let me show you an example here. So this is actually going to be pre-market or orb. I lost $80,000 creating this strategy. So I had a habit, really quickly before I break into this, I had a habit of taking a very small amount of money. And because of the pressure that I was under, I was really, really, really specific on what I would do and when I would take it. So I was only swing trading in order to turn $300-400 into 10 grand, and that was my goal. But at 10 grand, I don't know what the fuck happened to me. I don't know why. I still to this day I think I was triggered by having more money than I should, or that I ever really had, and so I would blow them. And I did that 8 times in a row before I quit trading. And then I had an epiphany in the shower. I literally was like, I keep taking 200 to 10 grand. Like, what is the wall there? And then I just said to myself, I said, hey, hold on. I really thrive when I have a little bit of money, right? So what if I just take that 10,000 out when I hit it, or when I feel like I can't hold on to that? And I mean, that's about the best shower I had in my life, minus a couple. But you know, that was definitely up there. Right, exactly. So when I hit a price mark, that's when I pulled my mark. If I hit 10,000, I would pull out. Shower with me is crazy. It's too early in the stream. I know we've been live for a while, but hold on. All right. So here is a opening range, right? So we use extended hours data. We're able to see, look, 4 a.m., sideways price action, box. Now, wait, hold on. Is this guy full of shit? Let's see. Floor. Look at how the price responds. It doesn't even really want to touch it, right? Finally, we get a dip. You dip down, you pop back up, you break the 50% mark, and you make new highs. Because you said that it will. Awesome, man. I encourage you to go to my YouTube channel. And yes, this is all being recorded. You can watch the whole thing. When do we get chilling with the chicken stream? Why you got baby oil in the back? I thought you were coming over, Jacob. I got specific instructions to oil the bros. But that's the next stream. So let's get this money first. Wait, is there baby oil behind me for real? What are you talking about? That's a candle with Betty White on it. All hail Betty White. Should we start video 1 on your YouTube? Or yes, so if you're going to my YouTube channel, go to the playlist and go to the educational right here. All right. So can you sorry. So anyway, can you use this strategy on lower time frames? Yes, you can scalp. You can scalp using the strategy. You can day trade using listen, this is a strategy that highlights market mechanics. The market is mechanical. I've yet to have anybody prove me wrong. I invite somebody to do it. Please God. Then I'll stop having these mental crises where I'm like, how is this happening? But no, I don't. So any time frame, but the most important thing is that you know where you're at, right? It's like taking a magnifying glass and looking at a map that you haven't even looked at the whole map, right? You haven't seen the whole map. You don't know where you're at, but you're looking at this small map. on the map to try and figure out where you're at. Everything for me starts on the 24-hour or the weekly. Higher time frames, higher returns. Let me give you an example as to why. If I can with validity tell you that the 5-minute, right? When I see a box and it punches through that box, it's going to give me a new high wherever that 5-minute says, but it's on the 5-minute. So that 5-minute new high is probably going to be really, really close. So I go to the 15-minute, same story, right? I go to the 30-minute, same story. I go to the 24-hour, right? And again, it's the same. It's a fractal, right? We are looking at the market in a fractal. There was a crazy feedback screech. I don't know. But if I know that the same mechanical strategy works on the 5 and it works on the 15, but gives you 5 and 15-minute returns, the 24-hour and the weekly are going to give me weekly returns. Your ears are ringing. Feedback? Hold on one second. Mic check. Hello? Hello? Mic check? Can you guys hear me? Is this something similar to swing trading out of boxes consolidation for breakouts? It is very similar to that, yeah. No feedback? Okay. Yeah, I just made a video, a positive video about China. Yeah, why would China come after me now? All right. How do I play breakouts? We'll go over that in just a minute. All right, we're good to go? Okay. So, really quickly, before we move on, I would like for you guys to drop a chart, and we're going to find some boxes on it before we continue moving on, and then we're going to try to move into channels here. There's feedback when you're talking to the mic. What about when it's farther away? Like you can hear. All right, if I don't see empty space or anything, no, there isn't any feedback. Okay, there's got to be, maybe you got a Nokia phone, I don't know. A slight ring? Okay. All right, let's keep moving. MO. Well, cool. Let's go to the weekly. Cool. Very cool. Okay, so first off, right, there ain't nothing on this except for this huge fucking wall, which we already went over this before, right? We're just at this big ass wall. Weekly really doesn't provide much, but we can move down here into the 24-hour where we can see where. Let's take a look. Box, 1, 2, candle close outside, 3 new highs. Now, this is not a punchback, but you did have one to get where you're currently at. So let's explore that. Sideways price action. Now let's explore the same things I just told you on Mara. Drop a line on the floor. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. First candle close on the floor. What does that tell you? And no, it is not a cup and handle. Take that cup and handle and we're trying to keep the stream. Not a cup and handle. No cup and handles. No fucking patterns at all. Patterns are just another lazy way of trying to extract a up or down signal from the market, right? No cups. Don't trigger me right now, okay? Anyway, 24-hour candle close on the what? On the floor, right? On the floor. That's where I want that to close in order to verify that buyers are still in control. Now we're aiming for the 50% mark, right? The 50% mark broken. What's above us? What is above us, folks? Nothing. You might have a box here but it's ugly, right? It's not a very good looking box. And if anything, it consolidates in that very box. But again, that's a box. That's not my box. That's a top, right? And tops typically just offer resistance. Does this work in a declining market? Very, very well. And again, if you're new here and you're wondering, why does this guy hate patterns? It's not hate, it's statistics. I have seen it, I know it, and I can tell you right now, I warned about 1,000 individuals. I can't tell you how many people I told, don't short NVIDIA. Why? Why are you shorting fucking NVIDIA? And they said, head and shoulders. And I said, wait for the punch back to the downside, because while head and shoulders might have some of the higher returns in the market, they're statistically still fucking losers, right? My strategy says, okay, empty space, we like that, but there's a box. Oh no. And what does this fucking thing not do? It doesn't close a single goddamn candle in the box. It hardly even loses its floor. And look at the idiots down here absolutely spinning on it, dude. Look at that. Ugh. You got 1, 2, 3 candles and you're just getting diddied. That's sellers. They're just getting diddied. Ooh, you want a little share short, right? You gotta pull that fucker back up, right? Over and over again. God, the fucking skibbity, dude. No, I was kidding. But anyway, the box underneath here, $38.80. Don't tell me to oil you up. $38.85, candle close. All right, I'll take your fucking short. Now, look at how they treat sellers after that. You're cooked, right? Then you decide to flip-flop and take it long. You're cooked. What's Diddy? Don't worry about it. You only have to worry about it if it's happening to you. But if you see a lot of baby oil in any sort of confined room and all your boys are leaving, you're going to find out. You're going to find out. That's on my lord. Stay away from the baby oil. If they got jugs of baby oil like this big, you got to hold them with 2 hands. It's over for you. Yeah, I got you. All right. So patterns are a no-no, right? Yo, but are you taking the invite? I'm going to go. I'm going to go to Diddy's house, but I'm not there. I'm there to do the same thing I do in the market. Extract the cash. All right. Moving on. Diddy just oiled up my brain. What was I talking about here? A little beverage break here. Got to switch the Zen. Everybody take a lap. Yeah, don't short a video. All right. But hold on. Let's go back. And again, I invite anybody in here who has taken the time to learn tonight. Awesome. I want you to go back and I want you to try to prove me wrong. Go into this with the intent that you're going to ruin my life and ruin this strategy. I want you to go into it digging at it. Is it right? Is this real? I want you to go back because you can go look at previous price action, right? Box. Hey, baby. Box. Cost basis. Cost basis breaks. 1, 2, 3. Uppies, right? That's a punchback right there. A beautiful one at that. Let's go. What's more? What's more? Send more stocks. Let's see what else we get. Let's do the AMD. Can you show your strat on AMD? Sure. Okay, well, this strategy is currently working out right now as we speak. And I would love to explain this to you because it would be a great opportunity to explain candle closes. All right, so we have this theory, right? That in the most recent price, can we just copy your trades, hoodlum? I am going to turn myself inside out if I hear that question one more time. Absolutely not. You should have enough faith in yourself to know that you can do this. All right. I might have a little autism, but I'm not different. Okay. You and the majority of the people that I've met, you're able to do this. So, all right. This is in the most recent price action, right? We are looking at the first green candle open to our left, even if it's small. Okay, I didn't mean to yell. Sorry for cussing. Floor, first green candle to our left that we bounce off of, right? How does that respond? First green candle bottom, tap, 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 tap. Candle refusing, right? Now, why? I can tell you why. All right, pop nut. Yeah, I'm a popping. Restraint. See that? That's discipline right there. I wanted to say something, but I didn't. Okay, you are. Can you comfort me right now? I feel scared. Man up. So that's how my dad did it. You are stuck. This is a perfect narration on why this stock is going sideways. Here's your signal down. Consolidation, 50% mark. Bouncing. Right? First green candle to my left in the most recent price action is the floor. You are unable to recover it. You are unable to close underneath you. You are jammed. So let me tell you something right now. I can almost guarantee 99.8% sure, 2% just for risk management, 0.2%. This is going to move this week. The reason that I say that is because you are in a maximum area of tension. You are stuck in between the signal to go down and the signal to go up. So I can tell you right now, while it's in consolidation, I can come up with theories as to the waves and where this candle is closing. But at the moment, right, we're holding. You're stuck. And so that opening volume on Friday or on Monday has to break that tension and hold it. And because you're opening up the week with that tension already created, if you get a big move in one direction or another, that volume is then utilized to drive that. This is gas. When you are in consolidation, you are fueling up the car. When you blast off and go for 3 or 4 days to the candle, and you run into a resistance, gas is gone. Time to refill. Time to step back. I don't trade while the gas is being filled. Accumulation, consolidation, pressure, boxes, rectangles. I don't care what you call them, as long as you understand what I'm trying to put across here. So what would I do? I love that question. That's smart. What would I do? I would keep moving in and make a plan. So let me tell you my plan. All right, so right off the bat, now we zoom in and the candle setup gets a little bit yucky, right? It's kind of gross. We don't like that. But I can see some definitive areas where sellers control, sellers lose. So if you can break control, you're going to go to the first green candle to your left. Here. Right? So candle open, candle close, outside of 138, and I can tell you with certainty that we're going to go up and tap the floor. My job at this point, if I decide to get in, my stop loss is here. My target, it might not have to be the target where you get out, but it's the target that you want to go and reclaim. No, IB social, that'd be fine. From there, right, if this floor is reclaimed, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to zoom down one more time. The elusive box, right? Structure appears. Box it out. Uh-oh. So my strategy happened, right? You popped out, you hit a high, and you drove back down. So if you're going short really quickly, if you ever are thinking of taking something south, your stop losses will be the same as they are when you're taking things up. Here, stop loss. Here, stop loss. Great stop loss. Here, stop loss. Right? Structural. You want, so my idea is let's say you break, bounce, you're going to hit the floor, and then you're going to come back down. And this gives me an opportunity to make a plan and to observe the price action that is above me. Right? So I can say, Now, this is really cool, and you're going to find this a lot. The previous wall that kept AMD from progressing higher and holding is also, and I'll bring this down a little bit more, there you go, is also our current and used cost basis. So if we were to re-break 140.50, yes, unfortunately, but yes, this would also be a high. But that would let us know, if we were to pop up and break that, that we are going to continue to the upside. And my job from there is to find the next target. The next target on AMD would be 145.35. If you are wanting to rewind this, this is being recorded right now as we speak, and will be on the YouTube channel as soon as I get off. I will upload it, and you guys can go there. What is a CA space? I never heard of that word. Say that again, Basilia. Is it Bazila or Bazila? I'm in the PBS workshop feeling lost. A lot of stuff going through quickly, like a certain level. Runner, I want you to go, so start with that first one that's at the top of the channel and then work your way down. Watch all three. They're all very important, and they were held live. So if you do get the workshop, which none of you guys should today, but if you do get the workshop, you're going to notice that, yeah, sometimes somebody will ask me a question, and I'm very much, I'm not, if you can't tell, I'm not a square and rigid individual. I feel it's important to answer those questions, because when you are curious is the best time to teach, because that's when you want the information, and the information will stick. So, okay, Bizilla, gotcha. Cool. Okay, so as of right now, right, these are lower time frame triggers, and I don't know if I would just sit here and wait, right, for this to go off. What I would rather do is go to the hourly, a 4-hour or 24-hour, and look for a candle close above 141. I'm not ADT Chad. Poor Chad. We should put your name backwards. Datch. Dahash. I don't know. So on AMD, because we are stuck in between two signals, wait. Okay, I need to ask right now because I'm kind of bothered. Are you chewing gum or those Zens? I chew Zens. You guys don't chew them? That's not how you're supposed to use it? Nah, I'm just kidding. It's in my lip. And gum. I do both, okay? I was saying call spaces. Not even sure how to spell it. I did say empty space. Yeah, I might have misspoke. I'm sorry. All right, let's get a couple more. I'm not doing any like gold or anything like that. I mean, fuck, I should do gold just to prove you guys wrong, but I'll prove you that it works. But let's do one more. Stress vape on the 1 second. Oh, cool. Absolutely cool. We'll look at gold next, maybe. Okay, so do you guys remember what I said about empty space? Do you guys, hold on 1 second, Dust. What the fuck does that? It keeps auto-translating. I got a Nike, okay. My homie made Nicorette. Yes, sir. Okay, so inside of empty space, right, we are going to have an imbalance, right, or 50% of that empty space. Target respects the fuck out of it. Wide open space. Don't do that to me right now, Wheezy. Fuck. All right. So, right, coming off of cost basis, you're bouncing, and the current predicament, right? And this is, listen, hold on. Time out. This is going to be an incredible trade, and I hope everybody puts it on their watch list right now. Okay? Right now. Coach wants 10K for signals. Learn to trade. Be independent. That's what Potter gave me. Let's go, dude. What's up? Get him? Hell yeah, dude. So Target's current predicament is that it is up against. Look at this. Cody, nice, man. Hell yeah, dude. You are up against the floor. So tell me now, right, based off of what I've taught you, what happens, right, if we claim the floor? What's above us? Nothing. Nothing. So what stops us? Nothing. So I need a candle close on top of 133 where I will then go from the floor. So this is our target, folks. Right? 147.60. Now I can't tell you right now what happens after that, but I can tell you that this is perfect, right? And falls in line perfectly. No, Ethan, could be a scammer. Okay. So it's perfect. Channel. Right? Now we're starting to get some juice here. So I'm going to then take that empty space from here to here. Our next target is 140. Uh-oh, that's psychological, right? Perfect. 140 and 147. Those are my only two targets. Don't talk to me about nothing else. That's it. Stop loss needs to be on that floor. Sam, what's up, Sam? Brother Patel. What's the name of the box with the 50% line? It's just called a rectangle. And when you click on that rectangle, you're going to double click on it and it will say middle line. So I always get excited because the guys who own TradingView put that in for me. So it's pretty cool. How far do I go out on my contracts? The chart tells me what I need to do. So I can tell you right now that if you took this bounce off of target, I would be out at least 3 weeks. If I took this trade as it opens up on the floor, and it depends on what you're aiming for, right? But if I'm taking this, looking for that first 140 strike, and it's on the floor, I might take this week starting on Monday. So I want a 4-hour, I need a 24-hour or 4-hour candle close. Now, how, right, or what can I do in order to keep verifying, right? I can move down. Structure appears, right? I can see the channel already. We've already talked about this in the chat. I can see where they might allow price to pop up and then curl back down. And I could see, so in order to execute a large move, right, i.e. Nike, right? In order to execute a large move coming off of a bounce, the best thing that you can do is consolidate. Are you recording this? And if so, can I get it? I had an emergency, just got here. It has all been recorded and it is all going to be on the YouTube channel. Okay. Okay. So for example's sake, right? Sideways action is preferred. So I go back to target, right? And again, we're still going to react to price. We can think all we want, but at the end of the day, we have to come to a conclusion. Candle close on the floor. If you can use that floor as a stop loss, you should. Now, as I move down, I can see that that floor is respected. But let me tell you about something about opening bell volume. It hardly holds. So at the bell, if target shoots out and then slows down, it gets pulled back. And this would create the perfect opportunity, in my opinion, to pull back, pop down, right? And then shoot up. That's what I think happens. I think that there's a little bit more consolidation needed because of how you bounced. So one thing that you guys will learn when you're trading with me is that paying attention to how price moves is very important. If you are moving very, very quickly, there's a good chance if you're leaving empty space like this below you, that it's going to get filled, right? And there's signals to do that. So it is even possible that this channel could be, I could be wrong because I don't have a lot of information on this channel quite yet, but my alternative channel would look like this, right? And that is perfect. Now, I'm going to really quickly dive in just quickly to channels. I want everybody to know that channels are just structural tools that we use to spot trend, nothing more. We're not really trying to like extract. If a horizontal line and the top of that channel line up in confluence, then sure, that can be a great target. If you guys are on here though, if you guys could do me a huge favor, try to get to at least 100K likes tonight. So if you guys could tap your screen, I would appreciate it. Each time you tap your screen, it actually, there's a IV hooked up to me right now that shoots adrenaline straight into my bloodstream. So it really gets me amped up. All right, slow down. I'm just kidding. Oh, sorry. All right. I can't follow since I've already followed 10K here. Oh, you better unfollow somebody's. Let me replace somebody. No, that's the neurogram. So yeah, there you go. Thank you, Ob. Appreciate that. Wait for the dip on target. Yep, that's what I like. This is close to bedtime. Yeah, it is getting close to bedtime. You know, I'm new but old. That's all right, man. We've got people in our Discord that's close to 70. So, all right, cool. Now, really quickly, based on all the information that we've covered, how many of you guys feel a lot better about the 24-hour time frame, boxes, and empty space? Those are the three focuses from tonight that I really want to make sure that everybody understands. Thank you, Fire Spittin' Kitten. If the market opens outside of the box but the 24-hour does it, it's still a valid trade. It does allow for price action to have the majority of the volume at the bell, but doesn't allow for that move to be sustained. So a lot of the times when you open up in the box, shoot out of it, a lot of times you'll get pulled right back in. So first time and I got it. Hell yeah, Richie. Fuck yeah. Does anybody have any questions? What do I mean by cost basis? So while I was building this strategy, I noticed while using volume profile that every box, especially ones that look like this, the majority of the volume inside of that box is located at the exact 50% mark, meaning that the majority of volume holding that price is located there, meaning that if it is broken, and you can see it was actually really cool because I sold a contract. This is where sometimes I like feel bad because I know somebody else bought it. I sold a contract for $900+. I bought it at $29 or something like that. I sold it for $900 right at cost basis. And it did nothing but fall afterwards. I was like, damn, dude, someone bought that contract and had the worst day. But can this work on the hourly? It absolutely. Listen, guys, this isn't like a loose theory. This is my understanding of market mechanics, of how price interacts with itself. I am typically, so one of the really, especially this year, and you know, I do put up these percentage gains for people to look at because they are astounding. And there is not a single place I have ever seen, and you know, this is just going to sound like bragging, and maybe it is. I have never seen another place replicate this form or this level of trading percentage wise. And the way that we're able to do that is by target based contracts. So we locate targets on the chart. We typically buy the target. So like on ANF, we were around 165 coming out of this box. That's at 145, right? So for most people, a stock in consolidation, $20 or $10 out of the money is going to so fucking cheap because nobody's buying it, right? It's going up and down. So you're going to, that consolidation lowers the value of that contract. And this is what, okay, so with my strategy, you could lose 60% of your trades. And with your risk management dialed in, right? You know how much you're putting into each trade. You could still pull money out of this market. This is exactly why I think that most people who talk about win rates, it's just another way to sell their shit. It's just another way to sell their shit because I could have a 99% win rate and not make shit. I could have a 99% rate and I'd buy it and then sell it immediately after. Ooh, look at my win rate. You suck it, okay? Because that's such bullshit. It is all about risk to reward. If you look at this example right here, Raymond bought we might have bought more, but he trimmed them. He bought 5 contracts at $36. He sold those the following day for $120, right? And it looks like, yeah, some of those contracts went, okay, so his runners, and we really do focus on runners. His runner, right, if you look right here, $36 he spent per contract. He sold them for $216. So you tell me, right? One contract can pay for the whole trade. This, oh, you can't see it. Wait, if you do you have your screen sideways or straight? If you have it sideways, you might not be able to see. You might not be able to see it. Hold on a second. There you go. Yeah, you're in a place where 100% is like, eh. We've actually, it's been funny because we've laughed about it. We've laughed at like the fact that we are, like, people will be like, oh, I'm up 80%. And it's so casual, but it's like, I'm not playing your contract value. Okay, that's emotional shit. My job is to focus on the fucking chart. The chart tells me when to get in, tells me when to get out. And that's all I focused on. So what is the most important Greek to look at when picking target-based contracts? You don't want high IV. That's probably one of the most important ones. You don't want a ton of volume on that. You want to be the volume on that. So you want to, a lot of the times we'll buy contracts, there's very little volume, and you'll look at it, 2 days following, and it's like, that is exactly what I'm trying to capture, right? Is I am trying to capture that chasing. People who see consolidation, the contracts fall in value. I select my target-based contract. I know how price action moves in empty space, right? I know that it moves quickly. I don't doubt this. I know this. I've seen it happen too fucking many times. And so therefore, I'm going to target that floor. And typically, again, the floor of this target was 165. So I believe I grabbed 162s and 165s, right? They were dirt cheap. And I mean, I guess I could. When did we take this? This was October. Let me see if I can scroll up to October the 14th. And I'll just show you. October. Oh, look at that. I just scroll hard. I scroll hard and I'm still in fucking November. Still in November. Come on. Stop posting all these gains, guys. Jesus. Makes it hard. I'm just joking. Don't stop. I love it. Yeah, so let's see. That was the 20th. Try to find it. Hold on. Well, that was a 40,000% trade that we had right here. But anyway. Oh, dude, you guys, yo, what the fuck? Holy shit, you guys tapped the shit out of your screen. Now it says 0.1 million. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. All right. Yeah, I was trying to find that LW. Let's see. It's probably just another click up. Let's see. ANF, ANF, ANF. There it is. Oh, where'd it go? There it is. ANF 796%. That was Soundhound. Apple, I think that was ANF as well. Yep, another 100. So I mean, anyway, that's ridiculous. The percentages gains on those, but all right. Yeah, 1,200% trades is crazy. So all right, let's pull this back. Okay. Did you buy on the next floor or cost basis? I bought as the candle closed outside of the box. I entered right in here, basically using this red candle top outside of the box as a stop. So here to here. And I did the same thing on Nike, right? Except for this time I was targeting the 50% mark. I went from here to here, right? Let's see. That's crazy, dude. I really have short-term memory loss. There we go. There we go. I have a hard time finding the cheap contracts. So let me help you out on that. NVIDIA, yeah, I literally forget about half of the. So, I mean, I think that's just how I've trained my brain is like move on to the next thing. And so I've constantly got that kind of in the back of my mind. Okay. So really quickly, I mean, I'll go over it further, but I'm trying to focus on teaching right now. So I keep pulling myself off track. I have a hard time finding cheap contracts. So let me give you an easy solution to this, right? Anything in the sector like consumer, right? If you look at the consumer sector, you're going to look at like, yeah, Nike. You're going to look at food stuff. Like, so I'll give you a couple of charts that I have as potential good lookers. KHC, right? Kraft Heinz Company. You want to find areas that are in or stocks that, okay, so let me actually just rewind here. Any stock could technically be on your radar. When we bought Tesla, yes, I am posting this later. When we bought Tesla before earnings, the contracts were like $12 to $15 because Tesla has done nothing but gone sideways for weeks, right? So the first thing that I would recommend for finding cheap contracts is find stocks that have empty space above their consolidation but are still consolidating. That would be my best recommendation there. Let's see here. Yeah, so I actually had one on KHC, right? Now this one, it did actually already reclaim the floor, and now we're looking for a break above 32.50. And it's not the cleanest empty space, but ultimately I'm looking for a retest of 33. Let's see, Crocs, which this one already kind of played out a little bit. We were looking to take Crocs just simply off of the floor. Now I'm under the strong impression that this is going to give me a box. When it does, which I believe it will, that's when Crocs will be a fucking phenomenal play. Listen, this is everything I'm looking for. Don't overcomplicate it. It looks like this, right? We have a clear area right now. We're still trapped underneath the sell wall that we broke out of originally here. We're still trapped underneath it. So when we open up outside of 108, I'll use that as my stop loss, and I will take this motherfucker up to the candle close of 116 and then the 50% mark at 123. Michael Allen, yo, what's up, dude? Since he's I just repacked up your package, man. I think we just found another house, so we're thinking about moving here. But yeah, I just wrapped it up. This guy right here is an incredible artist. Incredible artist. You guys should follow him. Michael Allen. Type to the chat. Great artist. Potter, I've been on the demo account practicing. Alhamdulillah. Huge thank you, man. Oh, let's go, dude. Let's go. I love that, man. I love to hear that. That's what's up, brother. Yeah, DM me if you need any help, man. All right. Can you buy aftermarket hours? I use TOS. Not right now, but yeah. Michelle Burns. It is very true, though. This is the recovery program. And really quickly, we're getting to the end here. Again, do I speak Spanish? No, I'm working on it. I'm learning right now. Really quickly, this isn't driven out of like, I'll just put it this way. I see somebody on the side of the road getting robbed, right? I'm going to say something. I've used that metaphor before. And this individual, Chad, was a Uber driver. And then before that, a manager of a company. He left this all on his LinkedIn. He has never touched a stock before in his life. And everything that he put up for sale is things that you can simply find on Google. I'm not doing this to be mean. I'm doing this because, I'm not doing this to specifically be mean. I'm doing this so that he can't make any sales anymore. Hopefully you guys will share this with your peers, and hopefully his empire will collapse. And again, I'm not being mean. It's just what needs to happen. It's like social engineering or something, whatever you want to call it. But I truly believe that this individual is somebody who sees people who want to make something of their life. They want something better. They want more. And he is directly taking advantage of that. And that's fucking wrong. So, yeah. I'm glad that you did not buy that. Now, we're getting to the end here. I do buy avocados from Mexico. Avocados from Mexico. Last time, I do not want any of you who are in here in class to purchase anything from me today. Or really, I would give yourself a week, right? Delayed gratification. Go through my YouTube channel. Please go through the educational playlist where you will find more lives like this. Potterbox strategy condensed, how to find boxes, right? The Potterbox breakdown, how to set up your trading view like mine. The Potterbox introduction, 2 setups to trade, change your trading forever, right? Option trading, Q&As, PBS strat hunt. I mean, it's all on here, and it will help you. After market is closed on Monday, Thursday, can you buy options? Yes. Yeah. Friday. So. All right. I am happy to take your guys' questions, so let's do that now. Is taking candle closes on the 4-hour time frame at the end of the day good also? Yes. It is. The 4-hour time frame is also a higher time frame variable that's going to be important. But what is most important to me is that the 24-hour level and the 4-hour level are somewhere similar. If they're not, then the 24-hour is going to take priority. What did you do to your jaw? What do you mean? What's wrong with it? Oh, because I said I had a $20,000 jaw. I got implant surgery. I was arrested when I was 19 years old for half of a joint in my car, and ended up doing a year in jail. And while I was in there, I was locked up and misclassified in the wrong dorm. So they put me in the felony dorm, and I got robbed on my second day, and they busted my fucking teeth out in the back. So I had to get implants. So yeah, I know I said that a little casually, but yeah. Yeah. Georgia does not play. Georgia does not play. That happened a long time ago. Did I pick up the soap? So I mean, I would slam it on the ground. I'd take the soap and just spike it on the ground, and then I'd just sit and wait, fight. No, I was kidding. They had closed cells, so the showers were in the cells, so nobody could touch you. I know about ADT. Are you enrolled? No, Kyle, I'm speaking out directly against ADT. ADT is a scam. I am trying to help people find something else, and I'm also doing it in a way where you don't need to pay me a fucking dime. I don't want anybody's money. I just want you guys to be profitable. That's it. Go be profitable. That's it. So, you know, I'm not really into the celebrity boxing matches, but I would definitely fight Chad. I'd fight him. So, all right. Can you show us how to look for confirmation for a trade and show us not to get faked out? So first of all, the whole 24-hour candle close is what that is. That is us looking for confirmation. And then we don't do intraday trading a lot. So a lot of the times, or most of the time, we're taking a trade at the end of the day as volume's slowing down, and then we're going and holding it overnight. So that's typically the go-to. But how do we know the 24-hour candle will close outside of the box if we have to get in before the market closes? So you are doing it, right? Like, so I guess the way that you could put it, right, is if a 24-hour candle closes outside of the box, then you would want to use that box as the top of that box as a stop loss if you're not able to watch. So I would set an alert on top of that box and just leave it there. Because a lot of the times, yeah, maybe you don't, but I will be 100% real with you. Sometimes life creates hurdles and certain things that make it difficult. And a lot of people will try to force adjust, right? They try to force, and what they'll do is they'll end up, no, I did not buy his course. I don't need to. I've had plenty of people come to me and tell me exactly everything that's in it. But you can take that trade on a lower time frame and use a lower time frame box to use as your stop loss. So do I think Crocs is going to go up? I do think Crocs will go. No, let me rephrase that. Crocs will go up. That is how confident I am in the strategy. It will go up. This company will not leave this empty space unfilled. I bought the ADT lifetime membership and I bought the PBS workshop. PBS is the one to help you. Let's go, dude. Sure, I can go back to LW. Yeah, keep asking more questions. LW. So how did I know that it was going to pop? Right now, let's thanks 6A. So I do this through a form of storytelling, I guess, if you want to look at it that way. And Nick, I see your question. I'll get to it. So I look for rotation. So while we're in consolidation, right, there's certain behaviors that are going to become apparent. For example, the number 3 is going to be a godsend for a lot of you, right? 1, 2, 3. So let's pay attention to inside of this box. I'm counting the first gap up as 1, second 2, 3. That I don't feet pics on Discord. Did I? Oh, damn. You did. If you're not getting feet pics in the Discord, DM me immediately. That's not good. So 1, 2, 3, right off the floor. So on that third rotation, LW should have gone down, right? That is the third tap. So we're going to try and break underneath this. If sellers cannot do their job, right? If you cannot do your job, you got to leave. So they close those percentages, right? Or they close those. And when they close them, they buy back. And so when I see a floor that should have very clearly broken and it curls back up and closes at cost basis, I know that even a gap down that far is not happening, right? Not on this one. But more than likely, you are putting a lot of sellers at odds and therefore curling back up, and you gap up above cost basis. And that makes, again, what is above you? The only thing that is above you is this box. So price, especially on a Friday, right? A lot of the times you want to fill those prices, fill those orders before the end of the week. And so a lot of the times you'll rip up into this empty, there's no resistance. There's nothing to stop you. So if you can just break out of this box, what's stopping me? So, now Nick, you mentioned, how do I pick the cheapest contracts? So not every time they're going to be like $5, right? But typically on 24-hour setups, the target-based contract is going to be the cheapest. Now, if I can find a contract, let's say, I don't know, it's NVIDIA. So let's just say like, yeah, there you go. So let's say, and I don't know if NVIDIA is really going to be the one to do it for us, but let's see. Okay, so NVIDIA is sitting on this floor. You've got kind of relative empty space underneath you. And you have this floor at 126.50. So let's say that I decide to go short, right? We have a box up here. So let's say we go and we pop up, right? At this point, when you're popping up, this is when puts are going to become the cheapest, obviously. So we pop up and we reject, right? That's cost basis. And you're now waiting for this floor that we recovered to break, letting us know that those buyers don't have what it takes to hold that floor. We're rock climbing. We also have so that floor is lost, right? You decide to go ahead and enter there. You're aiming for the 1, 2, 3 breakdown, right? 3 taps. So you do. You enter here. Your first target is technically, no, I'm not going to teach Elliott wave theory. There's only a very small amount of the Elliott wave theory that I've extracted. So teaching the entire Elliott wave theory would be a waste of time. There's really only a couple of things about or Elliott wave theory that I really take into consideration. 1, 2, 3s inside of channels. It's just that simple, right? 1, 2, 3. if three is typically where tension breaks. If it doesn't, then you have on the 24-hour, then you typically have a weekly box building. And a weekly box can take 3 to 4 weeks of sideways price action, which is typically where people lose the most money. So, do you step by? So, Nicholas, I still would go through my. Got you. Yeah. So, yes. So and again, I didn't want to talk about any of my products because I don't want you guys to buy anything. Okay, I don't want you to look at this. I want you to go and prove me wrong when you go to my YouTube channel. But eventually, right, if you do get yearly or lifetime or just the workshop, it comes with 4 months in the Discord. And yes, that is going to guide you from the candlesticks, from the beginning, brokerages, all of it, from start to finish. So, and that's on my website. And listen, if you do decide to buy it tonight, you're going to pay more money because my plan was in 3 to 4 days, I'll drop a discount because I know people are going to want to join anyway. I'm going to drop, Monday, actually, no, tomorrow. I was going to drop a discount and then that'll last for 2 days. Not Monday, so I'm sorry, fucking Wednesday. And that'll last for 2 days. But I am actively discouraging you from buying anything right now. So, but yes, you can go to my website in a couple of days, but go to my YouTube channel. There's a good chance that I answer that question. But yeah, take your time, Nicholas, right? Learn the strategy first. The strategy makes you money, right? Yeah, it is Cyber Monday. I don't know. I don't want. This is not an event that I was doing so that I can get a ton of people in. I've been watching my Stripe all night, ready to fucking refund people. Yeah. So, all right. So buy 50% up and down cost price to target. Got it. Right. Yeah. So that is in the simplified terms. Yes. Look like who? All right. Can I look at SPY? Sure. All right. So before I do this, is there accelerate? Is that better? Is that better? Oh, Matt Riff? No crap. That's crazy, dude. No way. Matt Rife? Yeah, I know you're talking about. So if I was taking this short, right, the way that I would look at this is I would look at it almost like in a box, right? And I can see that 134. So if we were to lose this floor, pop up, reject, you could take the rejection. I personally like to have confirmation. So underneath 138, yeah. So is there one video in particular on YouTube that'll walk through the strategy? Yes, absolutely. The Potterbox strategy, one of these does not have a mouse, so I'm sitting here pointing at shit and you can't even see it. But yes, I have a lot of different breakdowns, and this will also be on there tonight. So, I'm not saying the video is going down, I'm just giving an example. So, some companies will offer weekly. JL, so that's a great question. Typically those contracts are going to have a widespread. Oh, dude, I'm engaged, man. I don't want no numbers, please. Don't give me those. Those will be wasted. But yes, I will. Yes, I will. But it has to be the right setup. But yeah, I do. As long as the spread isn't too wild. So at 138, I'm confirmation going down by put for 132. So yes, I would buy 132s, and then at a 132 break, you could add in, right? And I can see that there's a small box, like a really tiny box, which I really wouldn't be concerned about right here. But I would be targeting 126. So I'd probably grab like 128, 127 contracts. So target-based contracts, yes. If they're not cheap and they don't fit the risk to reward, I just don't take it. So, all right. Any last questions about the Potterbox before I close this recording out? Thank you, everybody on YouTube, for watching. Hopefully this has helped you. Hopefully those of you guys who tuned in today have also gained some major insight on how this strategy works. So, can I look at Celsius? Yeah, I can do that. All right. Thank you, man. Assalamu alaikum. Question: What any laptop will do, man. You don't need some high powered ass shit. Wait, ADT shut down? That's not true, dude. Don't tell me my dreams come true. Don't tell me that happened on One Live. Please. Thank you. Yeah. Oh no. It's all good, dude. You forgot to check. Oh, look at Spy. All right. So really quickly, I'm gonna close this out. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned. We're gonna take a few requests here. I encourage you, if you're watching this today or tomorrow, please don't buy anything. Please go to my YouTube channel. Go watch my videos. If you finish that and you feel like this is the place that you need to be, great. If you can stay outside and make money and use that money to join, even better. I think about 35% to 40% of my lifetime members have done that. Otherwise, the whole goal here is to create independent traders. So hopefully that is you. Use the strategy wisely, and you could definitely do that. So, is it possible to build a retirement starting with 1,000? Yes, absolutely. How many monitors? I have 3, but I'm also streaming, right? So I need 1 monitor for the stream, 1 for the charts, 1 for the Discord. So, oh, shut up. That's funny. So this strictly contracts. Are you trading stocks? I'm not. I don't typically trade stocks, man. The risk, it's slower, but I have found my sweet spot in this where it just doesn't make sense, for most stocks. I did buy Rivian though. I bought about $5,000 worth of Rivian. So, all right, we're gonna do really quick request. Thank you guys for watching.